Hello and welcome to All Stars Online Season 4. This week, we are joined by the 2019 World Barista Championship Finalist, all the way from Poland, representing Germany, Wojtek Bialczak. Did I get that right?
Yeah, that was perfect. Thank you. Bialczak. Bialczak.
Bialczak.
Czak.
Chuck. Is it like Chuck as in Chuck? Bialczak.
Bialczak, yeah.
Bialczak.
Yeah. Wojtek Bialczak.
Wojtek Bialczak. Wojtek Bialczak. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. We have rainy weather today here in Berlin, but it's all good. Like recently we had very hot temperatures, so it's actually a nice change.
Okay.
And yeah.
Lovely European summer, right?
Yeah, of course.
It's very cold in Cape Town right now.
Really?
I thought you were in Poland though. I don't know. I think social media just made me believe that you're back in Poland for the time.
No.
You are in Berlin.
I am in Berlin, yeah. I am, from 7 years in Berlin.
Okay. Beautiful. Well, we're gonna get into that as the interview goes along. But first things first, we'd like to say thank you to our sponsors.
This episode is supported by Scotsman. For over 50 years, Scotsman has been one of the world's leading manufacturers of ice machines. Today, Scotsman continues to be the benchmark of the industry and offers a wide selection of specialist ice equipment and shapes to customers worldwide, with a focus on clarity, purity, low mineral count, and slow melting offerings. Whether you're a beverage professional, barista, mixologist, or bartender, Scotsman Ice is delighted to be a part of your beverage.
We've got quite a few videos coming through in the episode. We've got our all-stars around the world answering some fun questions. We have Wojtek's signature beverage video, and we'll also take a look at our all-stars about their coffee stories. So stay tuned. We're going to start off with our all-stars around the world video, and then come back and have a chat with Wojtek and his coffee career and just life in general. So let's go for the video.
I had a preparation time before the competition times, and I saw a guy who's wiping the machine and cleaning the machine, and I saw that was Huge Kelly from Owner Coffee. Yeah, it's one of my favorite barista in the industry, and I love his performance. And I didn't imagine, Huge Kelly is wiping and preparing my machine for my competitions. Then, yeah, that is quite memorable experience.
I always appreciate all volunteers. Also thinking, I'm competing a lot, but I'm thinking if I'm not competing for a year or a year in between, I think I want to do volunteer work. I don't really care what, because it's so important that they help out. And it was amazing because in Brazil we had the timekeepers in cup tasting, and they were all from Brazil as well. And the guys, like in the end, they want to like go on with you on a picture, or they were so happy, and it was amazing because they are so proud of their country, because Brazil, everything is coffee there, and it was really amazing to meet those people that they actually want to help out.
I have only pleasant memories, and worked as a volunteer at the championship. It's very difficult.
The most memorable volunteer, I think, for me in competition has been a gentleman named Yosuke, who is from Japan, and he was my timekeeper, I believe, in 2 rounds in Amsterdam, and just one of the most friendly, most kind people that I've ever personally met. We ended up keeping in somewhat of touch after competition. We've shared some coffees back and forth, and that to me is the beauty of coffee, the beauty of the community that is specialty coffee, and that's my experience of a great volunteer.
There are so many stories, the volunteers were always around helping us with eyes and things we were missing, checking our times and schedule. So there are many stories, and it's hard to pick up one, but You know, volunteers are so important. You know, they're always there for you, to helping you. So thank you if you're watching.
Okay, that was fun. Wojtek, do you have a story from the competitions involving a volunteer?
Yeah, I can think of one story. Probably it's not like 100% focused on volunteer, but more like some mistake and then me not knowing all of the rules, maybe. So that was like 2019 in Germany, national finals of Germany. And when I was moving to stage and I prepared my whole stage setup, I just realized that I didn't bring my knockbox. So it wasn't on the stage; it was in the back, and I was like, could I like? And then I was asking volunteer, hey, can I actually go again to the back, or I can't go? Like, can I ask my coach to go there? And she was like, no, of course you can't, and no one can help you with this. You know, that's all on you. And she was like, kind of like very. She was just like wondering why I don't know it, you know, and but I just didn't know. And then in the end, I had to start my routine already, and then just run to the back for my knockbox. So I had to like start my presentation with just like saying bye to judges, and then I ran away, grab my knockbox, run back, and then I started like the rest of my presentation. And my presentation was really tight, just in time. Yeah. So I had to just like get like, you know, catch up on time to finish it in without the overtime.
Hectic.
But and luckily the and luckily the back wasn't so far. Okay. So I was able to like just do it in like, I don't know, like 15 seconds, maybe 20 seconds. Okay. But anyway, like I kind of like lost few points probably from the judges because I didn't even explain them why I'm running away. You know, they saw like me running with this like big tube of knockbox.
Oh,
you know?
And it was the long knockbox. Wow.
yeah, like the standing one.
But you still won the comp though, right?
Yeah, I did.
What a guy.
Because I didn't go overtime. I think like I lost probably a few points from like tiny points, so it wasn't so bad, you know.
Man, you're getting me nervous about competition all over. So you're getting me very excited, yeah, to ask you a couple of questions. But now I'm gonna hold off because you've got very specific questions to ask. Let's right. First things first. How long have you been in coffee?
So in coffee, I was first in Warsaw, back in Poland, almost 2 years. Let's say 1.5 years, and then. Okay. And then I moved to Germany, Berlin, and here in next month it's gonna be 7 years since I'm in Berlin, so it's gonna be altogether 8-9 years. So almost 9 years. So yeah, time flies actually. It feels like it was just yesterday almost, but then it's pretty long time actually. Yeah.
9 years is a long time, my friend. I think it's really long.
Yeah.
And transitioning from Warsaw to Berlin, you now work as a roaster, if I'm not mistaken, for
correct.
Pretty well-known roastery. Did you come over to Berlin as a roaster, or were you first working as a barista?
No. So like, yeah, as I said, I was in Warsaw only like almost 2 years, not even. Working as a barista, I started already competing slightly there, but I moved here because my colleague, he was working before at the Barn, also like pretty known roastery. Back in Warsaw, he used to be my head barista. He was teaching me everything. He went for like summer to work at the Barn, and he got to know better Ralph, so owner of the Barn, and Ralph asked him once if he doesn't have anyone to recommend maybe. And then he recommended me. I went for a trial work trial for like 2 days to the Barn, to Berlin, even though I've never been in Berlin before. I went there for 2 days and they gave me 1 month to move. So I moved to Berlin because it's the Barn, like, why not? It's no, like nothing was like really holding me back.
So back then in Poland, up until now, 2019, you've competed in which competitions, which Brewers Cup years and which Barista years?
So I was competing Brewers, so like 8 years ago or 9 years ago. So it will be like 2013, 14, 11, no, 10. So like 10 years, it will be 11, 12. So like 12 or 13.
Okay.
That would be it. Yeah, and then since then I was almost competing every year in Brewers Cup. I just like this competition, and you don't need to prepare so much like for a barista. It's a bit easier. 2 years maybe I didn't compete in Brewers Cup because I focused more on barista, and I kind of like didn't want to get my head out of it, which is not really true. Like you can do easily 2 or 3 different competitions in a year. I think
Easily.
Yeah, I mean, like barista is of course the hardest one because you need to prepare a lot, and it's like long time, like it's 15 minutes and like different drinks and so on. You need to really put a lot of effort and time and so on, and money as well.
Yeah.
And then the others that are not so much.
Is there one that you enjoy more, barista versus brewing?
I think barista I enjoy more these days because I think I understand it more, score sheets and so on.
Okay.
Where brewers, I feel like you need to have really strong coffee, and that's probably like big percent of your points. It's coffee itself. Barista is more fun because you can give a bit of yourself into presentation, because you have like different drinks and you can like put it all around yourself. You know what I mean? You can you can show more of yourself in barista, I think.
Yeah, and you also come with an interesting background where you've got a very strong barista background. You are a roaster right now, so you kind of bring the two together, right?
Yeah.
Very cool. So tell us, favorite competition memory, but I'm gonna ask you not to say making finals in 2019, because that could easily be labeled a favorite. Do you have any other favorite memories worth mentioning?
I have few, of course.
Go for
like
it.
from competing, my first ever barista competition, it was when I moved to Berlin and I was working at the barn. And my friend, he was working here with me. He was roasting, and he pushed me like, yeah, you were competing in Brewers Cup, you should try barista. It's also so much fun. But then I was like, yeah, sure, we can try. And then of course I didn't read all of the rules because it was like so many like pages and like kind of boring stuff, you know, like if you don't really have any like experience with it as well. So of course I didn't read it. I kind of like created my drinks. I knew like my coffee more or less. Milk, I had like pretty nice milk, and I've made a beverage drink. I wrote the script, what I want to say, but I didn't really learn it like so well, and I didn't practice it at all. And I went to a barista competition in Poland, and I just like, also I didn't pick any music because I felt like, yeah, it's gonna just like disturb me. So then judges were like sitting there in silence because I didn't say like almost a word, but I ended up with like time of like 19 minutes or something, complete silence. So yeah, that was hard lesson.
Humble beginnings.
Yeah.
So on that note, this is one of the things I've really been waiting for to ask you. Is a wee little photo here of a young man, it seems. Can you tell us a bit more about this photo, Wojtek? Where and when was this? What's happening here? Where's this apron coming from? Where are you off to?
Yeah, so this picture, it's taken by my good friend Sławek Saran, which I talked about before. He's Polish barista champion, a few times Brewers Cup champion guy. Anyway, that's a backstage of my first Brewers Cup competition. So my very first competition. and that's before final. That's my final apron. I didn't seen ever like before any routines even on YouTube or anything. I was just okay. They're giving us coffee. You need to just dial it in and make it on stage. That's fine. So I've made it to the final, and the first round was on, let's say, Saturday, and the final was on Sunday. And on Saturday evening, they are telling us, okay, so like this and this 6 people are getting into the final. One of them it was me. And then I didn't even have coffee for the final. I didn't know that you need to have like presentation or coffee. So then we just started talking to all of the competitors there, like who has coffee, you know, which I could use, who had like, you know, something prepared. We went to the shop by like, I don't know, 9 p.m. or so.
Oh man.
Started deciding on the coffee. I ended up using Kenyan from Workshop in London.
Okay.
And we started looking up, like Sławek, my friend, he started looking up online all of the info about this coffee he could find. I was like making a recipe on AeroPress. And then I was learning till my presentation for like few hours till like probably like 2 or 3 a.m. And then in the morning we went to the final, and I took this apron because I thought like it's so funny that I'm even in the final. And of course I went overtime 1 second, but that was it. No, but then it was still the rules for Brewers Cup that they don't count your points anymore when you have overtime in Brewers Cup. So wow. I ended up being 6th.
So this is a ex-skateboarder mathematics student, Wojtek.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you still have the apron?
No, I only borrowed this apron from different shop.
What a shame.
I've seen this. Yeah. But also this apron was kind of like plasticky, like, you know, like material. It wasn't really cotton or something. It was just like this layer. It was printed. Anyway, it was a nice apron, I thought. So
memorable photo, right? Next up, we've got your signature drink video, right? Would you like to introduce it, Wojtek?
Well, I'm not going to tell you what's exactly in the video. You're going to see it yourself, but you will see for sure part of our training center there and part of my family because I was doing it with them. So enjoy.
Okay, very nice. Look forward to seeing this.
Hey guys, my name is Wojtek Bialczak and I'm a 2019 German Barista Champion and 2019 World Barista Championship Finalist.
Yes! That's awesome!
Today I have actually 2 recipes for you. One is extra, so I'm gonna start with the first one. So we need 90 to 150 grams of 30 to 36 degrees water. Then I'm adding 20 grams of magic powder. We need to shake it gently, not too warm because not too much because it's warm. All right, and then we'll serve it in our customer's favorite cup. Perfect texture. Thankfully, 2 shaker. Close it. We need to grab our customer. Little 5. So I have a customer. There we go. Yeah, you know what's coming. And now, please enjoy. Not that close. That's how we do it. Okay, I'm gonna give him back. And I'm back in a second. Okay guys, so I'm back. So with my second recipe,
This one actually comes from my 2020 German Barista Championships, where I placed first, the luck. But anyway, we have double shot of espresso, which I've made on a stovetop. I only have a stovetop here. We're gonna serve everything over ice from Scotsman Ice, our episode sponsor. Thank you. Okay, so at the time on the competition, I was using UG90's varietal, which is extremely sweet and has a very big body. So my idea for the drink was, because UG90 is the parent of Arabica, father or mother, just the parent of Arabica. So I wanted to go back in time to this very fresh Arabica flavors, which I imagine were in Ethiopia. So here we're recreating this beautiful Ethiopian flavors. Coffee is cooling down even more. I'm adding 20 grams of kefir water infused with lemon and raspberries. This together with our coffee is going to evolve into this lavender flavor. Then we have 12 grams of homemade oat milk. So this is to create this really nice smooth mouthfeel. Then we're adding 12 grams of plum reduction. Plum reduction is very thick, so it's going to push this mouthfeel even further, but also will transform into blueberry flavor. And the last one here, it's a banana fermentation. I would recommend it for your granola or any desserts you're making at home. It's very, very, very tasty because banana fermentation actually tastes like juice mango. But together with coffee, it evolves into this pink grapefruit, which is really surprisingly, but that's how it is. So we are mixing it a bit more. Nice. I'm gonna pour it here, so it's gonna be not easier to put your fancy glasses. Okay, so now we're serving it. It's not competition, so mind too much here. So we are lacking here still aromatics. So I created this hoppy aromatic with this aroma for e-cigarettes mixed with how is it called? Hoppy aromatic mixed with glycerin. That's what it is. You need glycerin for this gun to work. So it smells like hops, sweet hops, because it's with glycerin. But because we want to serve it to our customer and we want our customer to serve it, we'll lock it in the edible bubble. That's how it looks like. And then if I'm a customer, I would just come here, we'll serve it with a glass. Boom. 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 Nice sweet hops. I can still smell it. Cheers, guys. Very nice. Yeah, getting bananas there. Getting very fruity aftertaste. Very smooth. Very nice, very refreshing. So And we're using ingredients which are now in time, at least in Europe. Plants, very nice, cool. And yep, thank you guys for watching, and hope to see you soon. And I hope you are safe. Thank you. You got any more?
Wojtek, did you enjoy making that signature drink?
Yeah, that was actually fun, and we did it on Saturday, and that was good Saturday. So yeah, I really enjoy it actually.
Seemed like a lot of fun. We've got a couple more questions for you, and we're gonna take it to the world stage now, right? We've been chatting about Poland and Germany, and some things that went wrong, some things that went right. What was WBC like for you? Boston, right?
Yes, that was in Boston.
Was that your first WBC as well?
Yeah. That was my first Worlds. I was lucky that I was in on different continents. I mean, lucky. Sometimes you can just go to the country next door.
Of course. Yeah,
yeah, right. So it was nice. Of course, it's easier if it's like close by, because you can go with a car or something. If it was coming to like ingredients and so on, like we need to like smuggling something, milk and stuff.
So you got some of your own milk in?
Yeah. We brought our own, and then on the border in US, you have like all of those like signs, like you can't bring any food products and so on, and then it feels like you're gonna go to jail. And like I was there with my wife and my coach Michał. And then they were like, "Oh, maybe we should just leave it here," And I was like, "No, we will just go for it. They're not gonna put us in jail for milk, It's still milk." So yeah, we just smuggled 4 liters of milk. But yeah, it was worth it. In the first round, you can see in Boston they were like showing like the top 5 from the drinks. Yeah. And I think my milk was like first or second, so I was like, okay, that's a good sign, it means that this milk is good,
And being on stage, German Polish competitions versus the WBC, how was it like?
Well, yeah, of course it's much bigger, much bigger pressure. You can see like all of those baristas next to you, which you've seen on like in online in internet and so on. And we're like, oh my god, like that's this guy. Like I knew almost everyone, like huge stress. We didn't prepare ourselves to, like, I don't know, I guess we just didn't think I will go get to the finals. So we were like, we had enough of like milk and stuff, but as I said, like we just minimized our luggage and stuff. So then in the end, we had to like every day after competition, we had to run to the apartment, wash all of the towels, all of the cloths, because we needed to dry them for next day. And we needed to prepare milk, defreeze and prepare all of the ingredients. And this was like very poorly organized, I would say. I guess we should just next time pay a bit more for the extra luggage and have enough of everything, so like we don't need to like think about preparing everything. We could just,
but your first time it's a challenge, right? You don't think of those kind of things.
Yeah, and also like you just want to save money because it's already such a big expense and so on. So it's like, if we can save here and there, that would be awesome. But then in the end, you need to work for it and overstressed because of this. So I guess
Wojtek, so what's keeping you busy? Like when you're not, are you still into skating? Is math still a thing, or?
Math is not really a thing, but probably it will come when my kids will grow. So I have just a newborn, like second son. He was born 3 months ago. Thank you. He was born 3 months ago. So this is keeping us busy. And then we have older son. He's 4.5.
Okay.
So he's already like, little dude who's like talking, running, playing his own friends. So we are kind of like, after work, I'm just like 100% focused on family. but like I'm trying to prepare again for the barista competition, but I'm going back to Poland this year because I was competing 2 years in Germany, but I felt like I already won one Germany, so maybe I could try to win Poland again because I feel like I have more experience and I'm kind of stronger. But I'm gonna fight for the 2021 title.
Nice, man. All the best. When's that comp happening?
In September, it's first round, like eliminations, and then the finals are in February, so already in 2022.
Oh, hectic. So September, and then next year will be.
Yeah.
Okay. All the best, my friend. Hope to see you back on stage at the WBC. Thank you
that
for
would be nice.
all the questions. Yeah, we'll see. Like, we don't know what's happening in anywhere really. We haven't had a competition in South Africa, so maybe you never know. Maybe we'll find one another there on stage at the same time. We'll see. Thank you very much for your for answering the questions. Thank you as well to our sponsor. So we go into our next video now, which is our coffee stories segment. We've reached out to a few people in the industry and asked them how they first got into coffee. We all have our own story of how and why. I hope you enjoy this.
Actually, I was working in a restaurant for a couple of years, and I had like one thing that I knew more of, so I could choose between wine, beer, whatever, and I didn't want to work in the evenings anymore. So I decided if I go into coffee, then all people drink coffee in the morning, and for me it's the first flavor that you begin your day with, you start. And in the end, after dinner, it's the last flavor you get. And I see in a lot of restaurants that they don't focus really on the last cup of coffee. And to me it's really annoying because I think it's so important that the last flavor you give to someone needs to be really good and you make people happy with a coffee. So yeah, I started to learn more about coffee, and after a few years I moved to Berlin, started working in coffee there, and ever since now I'm working I think around 10 years in coffee, and I'm still learning every day. So thank you, and I hope to see you guys soon in competitions again.
How did you first get into coffee? Give us a little bit of juice there. Tell us.
So we need to start from really beginning. So I started working in coffee in like I didn't have any experience. I didn't even drink coffee. I always thought like coffee doesn't work for me, and I don't really like the taste of coffee, so why I would drink it. And I was studying math, so mathematics, at the university. And I was also like working in some skate shop part-time, but then I was like, yeah, maybe I would change, like working in a skate shop is kind of like boring. Maybe I will go to some bar or like coffee shop, this kind of thing, this kind of thought. And I just like applied to few coffee shops, which I heard are nice. And yeah, I got the job. They just wanted to train someone from kind of zero with no experience. There was Sławek Saran. He was a Polish barista champion, and he was head barista there. And like all of them, they were competing in Brewers Cup, in AeroPresses. After a few months, I was already competing in Brewers Cup and some latte art throwdowns. First, they were like latte art throwdowns. Because I think that's kind of like first thing you are getting into when you start with coffee.
Of course.
But then I competed in Brewers Cup. I think that was my like first proper competition. And I got into the final even. So then I was like, yeah, okay, then maybe it's something for me. This whole coffee thing, you know.
Thank you, Wojtek. Don't forget that on Thursday, you'll be live on the Barista Guild's Instagram, where you'll be chatting some more about his coffee career. See you then. I hope you enjoyed the show, folks. Wojtek, would you like to say goodbye?
No, I'm good.
I'm good. Okay.
Yeah, of course. I would like to say goodbye and thank you everyone who made this possible, sponsors and whole SCA, and you, Winston, as well. And yeah, see you Thursday then. Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Cool. Cheers, folks.